morning, everyone. How are you all? You good? Excellent. Well, welcome to for the Tech City student. It's their first day back in the summer term. Summer term, my God, it's the last term. So welcome back, and welcome to Rivers students to Tech City. Really nice to see you again. And welcome all the employers who are here for our fantastic new project for this term. Steve Kenning, the CEO, is going to tell you a little bit about, I'm going to talk, I'm loud. Is going to tell you a little bit more about what the projects this week, this term, and also some of the employers are going to tell you a little bit more in details of what you will be doing. But I wanted to give you a little bit feedback about last term projects. If you remember, some of you worked on the Tower Bridge project with BAM Nuttall and on redecking, and also on the communication with the stakeholders, and then worked on the floating garden with BAM Nuttall. And they were so impressed with the work the students had done on the project that they not only we gave you prizes last term, which was fantastic. If you remember, we had a great day of presentation and prize giving, but they've decided to give their own prize to the person they thought has done extremely well on the project. So I'm going to read out what they have said in the letter first, and then announce who the lucky person is. They have said, further to last week's exhibition at Tech City Academy, BAM Nuttall would like to acknowledge you personally for your contribution to the team's effort and displays. Your effort over the last 10 weeks were exemplary, culminating in a professional presentation which met the project brief. BAM Nuttall would like to offer you every success whilst studying at the college and in your future career development. In recognition of your effort, we would like to award you the enclosed gift voucher. This is fantastic for the employers to recognize and acknowledge the work you have done, and sort of identify you for the effort and your contribution to the project. In addition to that, they also want to offer apprenticeship to those students that have taken part in the BAM Nuttall project on redecking and the floating garden. So they're going to come in within the next few weeks to talk to you and offer you apprenticeship. But this lucky person who got this letter and the award is Nathan Lewis. Well done, Nathan. Okay, now I'm going to hand over to Steve Kenning. But students who haven't registered yet for the 3 projects this term at Tech City, this is your opportunity now to apply and register for them. If you remember last term, you had to compete to be on this project. There is still a competition to be on this project. You have to have true commitment, and you can see what you get out of this project. Not only you develop your skills, your knowledge, your experience, you open up a number of different opportunities for yourself in the world of work, and with employers, credible employers, and your future will be full of success with these people that you're going to be working. Okay, so Steve.
I'd like to start, yeah. So just before, I'm Steve Kenning, Paula Kenning. Just before Steve tells you more about the specific projects this morning, I'd like to add my welcome to that of Miss Farahani. Welcome everybody to our employers. Thank you so much for being so excited about the project. And welcome to all of you guys. Congratulations to Nathan. I think that's amazing to be singled out in that way, Nathan. And congratulations to all of you. All of you that were in this room at the back end of last term in March did the most wonderful, professional, that was the word in the letter from BAM, wasn't it? Professional job of presenting all of that hard work over that 10-week period. The evidence of your work is still in the room, which is lovely. But you did the most professional job. In my 20-odd years of education, I've never seen students do such a professional job articulating their thoughts, in such an articulate, high-class fashion. And I really, really mean that. I mean that most sincerely. This is quite exceptional what we're doing here. There aren't students all over the country that have the opportunities to work with such engaged, exciting employers in the way that you guys did last term and do this term. It's the most exceptional opportunity. I was slightly disappointed, I have to admit, that some of you didn't stay the course of the 10 weeks. I think you really sincerely missed out. And I'm very much assured that you will be excited and energised by what your colleague students have accomplished and the skills that your colleague students have developed over the 10-week period to really stay the course this time. It's compulsory, it's not optional, and it's compulsory for really, really good reasons. I'm going to take you back to the first week of January when we were in this room again together, starting the Aspirations Portfolio project for last term. And I'm going to start with a couple of the slides that we showed you back then, because I think they might be altogether more meaningful and more powerful for you now that you've had the experience that you had last term of working with those employers and developing those amazing skills. So 2017 is a very big year for you, as you well know. Every year has been a big year, but this is a bit of an even bigger one, because of course what you'll be facing next year, you might be facing them this year, will be interviews. You might be facing interviews for university places, for employment, for apprenticeships. And actually I have to tell you guys, just judging by the looks on some of the employers' faces when it was mentioned that BAM Knuckle are going to come back and talk to some of you guys about a firm offer of an apprenticeship with BAM Knuckle, an £8 billion turnover company. The looks on the employers' faces said it all to me. That is the most exceptional opportunity and the most exceptional sign, if you like, of how impressive you were with all of those companies throughout last term. So really, really well done. How exciting. So, interviews, what will you be able to demonstrate in these interviews? Well, I have to tell you guys that having 3 A-levels or BTECs isn't going to cut it for you. You need those, that's kind of the bare minimum, but actually you need so much more beside that, because you are up against some really, really stiff competition. The figures behind me speak for themselves. More than, well, nearly 600,000 young people, all after the same opportunities as you. Now, the very reason that we're doing this work on the Aspirations portfolio is because you will need skills, know-how, experiences that really put you ahead of everybody that is competing for the best opportunities at the same time as you. This is the reality. And actually, if you rock up to those interviews that I've been talking about and talk about your A-levels and your BTECs, yes, that's great, and they'll be pleased that you are on track to get such good grades and qualifications. But the question then will be, and what else? And what else do you bring to the table? What else? What other experiences? What other challenges have you faced? What have you overcome? And you will have such a lot. You already do, those of you that did such a great job last term. You already do have such a lot more that you can talk to these people, these interview panels about in terms of the skills you've developed. You, each and every one of you that stayed the course, stood up and did pretty much what I'm doing right now in front of this many people. And that's in itself an amazing skill to have at this stage of your education. Talking to some of the employers this morning that are sat in the room now, actually, when they're looking for new people to join their company, they're skills that they find really difficult to spot in very talented, intelligent young people who haven't had opportunities like those that you have through the Aspirations portfolio. So stiff competition. Showed you this slide last time as well in January, and I'm not sure whether it made as much sense as it will today, I hope. There are 1 million 16 to 24-year-olds, that figure might even be a little bit out of date and therefore a bit low, in the UK that are out of work at this moment in time. So these are people in your age group. Now, the vast majority of these people will be well qualified, perhaps as well qualified as you will be in 18 months' time. But the problem that there are no jobs. Down the right-hand side, you can see that there are literally hundreds of thousands of jobs, certainly enough to meet the needs of all these young people on the left-hand side, if these young people have the skills and the know-how to be able to meet the demands of these jobs that are emerging on the right-hand side. So there's a real gap. There are far too many young people unemployed, but there are lots and lots of jobs. And what employers are telling us all of the time, we can't find the people leaving school, even leaving university, even with postgraduate degrees, even with doctorates, we can't find those people with the right skills. They've got the knowledge, but that's not all that's needed to be really successful in the world of work. You need the know-how and the skills. And that is exactly what we are aiming to provide you with opportunities to develop the skills that the employers on the right-hand side are really looking for. The Aspirations portfolio is roughly to sum up in one word what it's all about. It's all about employability, which has got to be the ultimate end game for you guys. It's all about getting yourself ahead of those 576,000 other young people leaving school, perhaps as well qualified as you, next year, getting yourself ahead of the game, having the most amazing confidence and self-worth because you've developed these amazing skills, and actually not just surviving in a very dynamic world of work that's changing all of the time, but actually really thriving. Okay, good luck everyone.
Okay, nice to see you. So as well, I was really quite impressed with the presentations last time, and particularly the people who have been at the second time finals, because their presentations were good. The idea of this is you do it again and again so you get better, and you go for interviews and get that job. The apprenticeships may be a real good route in the future, and I know that BAMNOT particularly are going to come and offer some of you guys apprenticeships. That is really amazing to get that. That's all because of what you've been involved in. And who knows what comes out of this. We've got employers working with us now, and they're doing it for a couple of reasons. One, they want your ideas, they want to know how young people think today, but also they want to identify people for their own futures, for their companies. You get loads out of it, but employers get things out of it as well. Now, the basic idea of the way this works, and it is completely unique, nobody else is doing this. You do your 3 A-levels, and normally across year 12 you do 3 projects. We're doing 2, first time we've done it, so you're on to your second, so by the end of this year you'll do 1. So you'll do these projects to develop skills. Hopefully at the end of the year you might do a university study week or work placement or internship as well. So you develop further work-related skills. Then in year 13 next year, in the first term, you're going to use the skills you've done to do the extended project qualification. That's like half of an A-level. So it gives you more UCAS points. But what it does, it gives you a chance to continue working on one or all of the projects. For example, I know BAMNOT will want some people to go and carry on working on the floating garden. So it might be you go into it in more depth, but you get a qualification out of it. The idea then in the spring term, you carry on with your A-levels, and you only need 3 A-levels, and then you're basically going to start up your own company. The idea that we want you to develop your own company, we'll teach you some ideas how to start companies, use some experience. Last time at the Maker Club, at Simon Riley from the Maker Club, he's on his 3rd startup, and he'll come in and help us with that kind of thing. So the idea that you might get an idea which is great. Not all of them will work, and a lot of you will fail, but if it's a really good idea, the following year we intend to give you a free space in the workspace, some people, so you have a startup of your own kind, plus funding. That's the idea behind it. So some of you will go that route, some of you won't. Most of you will end up getting exams and off to university or going off to apprenticeships. That's the idea. But these are all possibilities. So that is the project. Now, what we're going to do, you know this, you work with real clients, you work on real problems and issues, and it's really quite exciting to do this. And when you see people, we've got a lot of really experienced people here who are going to take you through the kind of things they do. So you're doing research and field work, but you're learning and being mentored at the same time. And the outcome, you get these skills, you get some great skills, you're already developing those skills. We found out last time, our members of the River students, some of their colleagues didn't turn up for the final presentation, and they were really annoyed, and I would have been too. You know, you've worked for 9 or 10 weeks and the people don't turn up. That's not on. What's that say about you? If I was an employer, I wouldn't look at you twice. So this is about you being reliable and developing the right kind of skills. So you develop the right kind of skills. How do you work with people you don't know? Last time we let you work in your own groups and developing friendship groups. Maybe it's time for you to be a bit more mature and work with somebody you don't know this time. The Rivers and Tech City kids will have to stay apart from each other because some sessions won't be always here. But generally, work with people you don't know, develop different skills. you will get some real-life ideas that you can put into your A-level examinations. You know, you can apply this stuff to your examinations, which is really useful. You'll get some great role models. You know, some of the engineers you've worked with, some of the people here are really motivated. They've been through what you've been through, and they're young people, not old people like me, so you'll learn a lot from them. You'll get mentors, you get this vital experience, and if you keep this record, you'll get a portfolio of what you've done. So you go through interviews and show people what you've done. I mean, some of the work that you guys did last time, show that in a university or a apprenticeship interview. This is what I designed. It's great. So it's basically 10 weeks. It's basically 4 hours roughly each Tuesday. Teams of 5 or 6, and then you do this final presentation. And that is really, really important because that's developing the quality of presentation skills, as you found out last time. And hopefully you'll keep this digital portfolio. Now last time, 2 pictures of a couple of the presentations at the end. They were really high quality. You know, the reason you dress like you do is about building your self-worth, but also making sure you can compete with anybody. If you're not used to dressing smart, you're going to do it once. You look really awkward. You get used to doing it. It's about presenting the same way you present, and you get used to doing it. And I was really impressed with the guys that were at the end. The second presentation they did, I thought was fantastic last time. So they learnt a lot. What we did last time, we had the Tower Bridge stakeholders, we had the deck replacement, we had the floating garden, and we had the robotic arm coding club. This time, we've got 3 really exciting projects, and we're really pleased to have the people involved who work with us. You know, we've got a new school, the Livingston Academy London, opening in Aldgate in 2017. That's the building which is going to be redesigned. I've got a company called Architecture Initiative who are going to help design that building for this new 21st century school. The school's going to be very much about digital learning, computational thinking, so it's a little bit different. We've got Almach who are working on this energy-saving website to use in primary schools. Very, very exciting idea to talk about or teach about climatic change. And we've got one of the best gaming companies in the world, I think probably, Bossa Studios, to design a computer game. Now I'm just going to ask each of these people to say a little bit about what they're going to do. Not a lot because we'll do this more in each session, but designing the school of the future, as I said, Architecture Initiative of the company, it's a proper company, we've got architects working with us, they're going to take you through the modelling kind of process they do with designing buildings, and they want your ideas. So the end product will be to really come up with ideas of what a school of the future should look like.
Hi, my name is Janita and I'm an architect. So we are going to design the school of the future. We are challenging you to be very creative, bring out all your ideas about tech, about space for this new school. And we also want you to design a school that does not exist now. It's something completely different. So you have to think out of the box and you have to challenge yourself. This is going to be a very demanding studio. So there's no slackers here. You can't be lazy. We need you to be on the ball. We need you to be disciplined. We need you to be cooperative and work together in groups. You will also need to build a physical model together of this new school. So it's something that you can take photos of and put in your portfolio. We also want you to produce some architecture drawings. So for the last presentation, some of you presented some SketchUp models. We want to move one step more. So instead of just showing your SketchUp models, you have to make them look like their architectural drawings. So this is the challenge for the studio. Take it if you are courageous enough, and look forward to your participation and presentation.
Is a company called Almach who actually sell green energy basically, but this is an offshoot of that to try and encourage people to think more creatively about the use of energy. So,
I'm not sure if I'm loud enough. Can you guys hear me at the back at all? Yes? Just a show of hands before I go. Does any of you, any environmental enthusiasts, any energy people, anybody who heard anything about environmentalism or is interested in it at all? 1, 2. I mean, this is great. This is exactly who we as a company want to work with. We want to get you guys to help us design something, a tool, a website. If you come up with an app, that's great. Something that will make, people like you, younger people, kids who all they think about when they hear environmentalism is some crazy tree-hugging people, to actually spark their attention and inspire them to actually take this website or whatever it's going to be and learn and discover and try to like basically figure it out that energy efficiency is an important thing for a reason, but we want to teach them that in a fun way. So there are two companies who are working together to bring this event for you. So we'll have a Volt Tower, who gave us this very cool hardware that you plug into your fuse box, and with that tool you can see on your phone what sort of appliances and how much energy each appliance is using in your house or in your school, because we want you to actually trace what are you doing at school. And once you have that app, we have this very boring, no offense, very boring, very boring interface that is not very attractive to anyone. And that's your challenge. How do you make that interactive and fun and cool and great? So we brought for you a lot of industry speakers and a lot of mentors and a lot of very interesting companies to guide you through the process. So if you're looking for a transformational project where you will learn a lot, we will teach you all about environment and energy, but also about coding and web design, and also about presentation skills. So if you're looking for a project like that, we're your guys, and we hope that you guys are going to work with us as well. And we're happy to answer any of your questions later. But yeah, it will be really great. So don't get scared away about the words like climate change and carbon footprints and eco. It's not all about this. It will be really great. So we look forward to work with you.
Is really another exciting one. All three of these are brilliant projects. Is to design a computer game idea that might be taken to market. If an idea is good enough, Bossa Studios will take it to market. But they basically want you to see what goes into making a game. It isn't just coding. There's far more to than that. So Enrique, you want to say a few words?
Right. So I'm Enrique. Bossa Studios is a company nearby, and we make, I don't know if we're one of the best game companies in the world, but it's certainly recognized to be the wackiest and craziest one. The games we make stand out in the market because they're very different from any other game out there. And this is part of what we are trying to work with you here in the next 10 weeks, is to teach you how to be creative, how to challenge the status quo, how to make things that nobody else has done before. And once we get to that core idea, and that idea is great, we will teach you small steps on how to turn that idea into a proper product, including who would play it, why they would play it, is it fun enough? If it's not fun, oh my God, is my project going down the hill, so how can I turn that around? Kind of skill sets that will be very useful for you in the real world. How do you deal with failure? How do you deal with a good idea? How do you take it to market? We hope that throughout the entire project we will teach you from the very early start how to concept a game to the very end how to take it to market. And in the end, if we find good ideas within the group, we will help you transform that idea into a game that will ultimately be sold to millions of people around the world. And it's really that straightforward.
They're all really dynamic people, really committed. They want you to be committed. Because anybody who doesn't want to be involved, you've got to be involved, but put your effort into this. Now, you'll go through the classes in a second to show you the profile. Now, we know some students have got AS levels in a few weeks. We've got a 3-week gap in the middle this time. So there is time to miss out the end in the middle part, so don't worry about that. But the final presentation this time is right at the final week of this term, so there's a fair bit of time there. So rather than 10 weeks, you've probably actually about 13 weeks to do this if you really wanted to spend extra time. So when some people are doing their exams, if you haven't got an exam, you can be working on this with your team. So we'll go through this in the lessons, but that's basically the outline again. But the 12th of July is the final presentation where you're presenting it to these guys, and you know what it looks like now, so you know how good the house could be. And all these guys are saying you've got to work hard at this, and it is about working hard, but you'll get so much out of it. Okay, do you want to add this?
Great. Okay. That was fantastic. I'm so excited by this project. I'm going to sneak in your classrooms and take part in some of them.